Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome back. Jumping into a game number 2 of this series, Carbon EU versus Organized Confusion. Shane, we saw a very methodical game out of Carbon EU. They played the long game there, like we saw out of Oxygen NA. They didn't rush any team engagements. They played very smart, and in the end, picked up the Orb Prime for the second time, pushed down the off-lane tower, were able to pick up 4 kills and take that game. What does Organized Confusion have to do this game?
I think
to win.
They were on the edge of being able to take that game for a very long time. They were finding Undead Pilot out many, many times. The few occasions they had where they had opportunities to seize an objective, I think they weren't decisive and quick enough to do so. They let opportunities just wither away in front of them. Carbon EU showing off their veteran status and their decision-making capabilities just being a little bit more superior. And I think that is ultimately what led them to the victory. When Carbon EU had opportunities, they were on it. They got it. Yeah. They would push down an objective, whether it was Orb Prime, having a power play, something along those lines. That being said, I absolutely think after seeing game number 1, if we see those refinements and improvements, a little bit of tweaks in the shot calling, tweaks in their ability to pounce on opportunities, they absolutely could not only take a game, but they have potential to get themselves to the finals. If we don't see that improvement, though, Carbon EU, absolutely no question about it, are going to be moving on here. We got a draft to go in here, Notch. Let's do...
We do.
What do we do? What's the thing that we do? The damn...
We talk about it.
We do the damn thing? That's all right, we do the damn thing. Let's go ahead and do the damn thing right there, ladies and gentlemen. So, the bans... Are we going to see a Countess ban? What do you think, my man?
I mean, I want to. They did it last time. Do they take Countess away from him again? I hope they do. I really hope we see that. I want to see the Countess Kalari, but I think
it is again. That's crazy. If I'm Organized Confusion, we're like, oh man, we can't run the Countess Kalari composition. But at the same time, we're like, they are scared. They are scared of that. That to me should show Organized Confusion that people are scared of that, and that is a big boost of confidence if you think about it. But confidence can only get you so far. You got to execute, you got to refine, and you got to get yourselves getting down to that core. First pick is going to be the Decker, this time on the side of Organized Confusion. Shadon played an amazing Decker that game, not only using his ultimate offensively to secure teamfight victories, but also we saw him use it defensively in a capacity that allowed them to take the Orb Prime completely uncontested.
Yeah, but Shadon is not a one-trick pony. I think we're going to see eventually possibly a Rampage pickup and actually put Shadon onto Rampage. So Organized Confusion taking that pick away, but that opens up Steel and Rampage to be picked up by Carbon EU right off the bat if they decide to.
They're going to get Rampage, but instead pick up the Howitzer as well, putting a little bit more priority. Yo and Mikey had a standout performance last game.
Yes, he did.
I completely understand them putting priority of that hero. Make sure they get Yo and Mikey into that robot mech suit once again to have a great performance in this game number 2 to get themselves into the final. Rampage sort of speaks for himself. He's a pretty good hero right now. The pickups here, Steel and Murdoch. Decker, Steel, Murdoch. They have a makings of a great composition right here. Carbon EU, they have their jungler / support, potentially. They have their mid laner. The carry, Sparrow was picked up by Carbon NA, but it wasn't against a Steel, and it wasn't against a super heavy CC composition that we see in front of us here. Do you think it's going to be Twin Blast, or are Carbon EU going to pull out the bow and arrow?
I think it's going to be Twin Blast. Undead Pilot has got such a good build on that hero. I don't see him not picking that hero for this particular round.
We're going to see what it is here. Is there still... it's... oh, boy! Oh, my God, that's the bandito! Muchacha Susie has been picked up of Sereth. I love this hero. She's my favorite hero in the game. Steel's going to have a hard time latching onto this, and they have to expect this to be a jungle Sereth, strictly because of Blood Mortius's outstanding performance and just grand understanding of how to play that hero in that role.
Yep. And Rusturus, I believe if Rusturus takes this hero, we saw him play Muriel last game in the offlane, did such a really impressive job making sure minions were pushed, rotating to those fights when he needed to. So another just good gameplay coming out of Rusturus. And Shane, do we see Kalari next? Do we see Kalari next? Yes, we
Obviously we do, because obviously you're looking ahead into the draft here before we
I
got
looked
it.
ahead. I'm
That's
so
okay.
sorry.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, ladies and
your
gentlemen.
screen with the
No, it's all good. It's all good. Maybe we'll get a comparable draft tool that we both can use at the same time here. Nonetheless, I digress. Gadget picked
Holy
up
goodness.
#standard. It was proficiency on the Kalari. It was proficiency on the Kalari is what we saw. It's so hard to say how to judge Proficiency's performance on Kalari, because it's literally the only time we've ever seen that hero broadcasted on Paragon Competitive League. She's been played in our league several times, but we've never actually broadcasted or had the privilege to commentate on her and any team or any player up until yesterday and now today. I'm assuming this is going to be an off-lane Kalari. I have to assume that.
Steel jungle? Or
Steel off. I mean, well, yeah, steel yeah, absolutely. Steel jungle, Decker Murdoch with your safe lanes, your support and your carry. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be.
And so, yeah, wow, I'm glad to see another Kalari pick. We don't see this hero often. Proficiency did a good job on her yesterday. We don't get to see that combo of Countess and Kalari, but very interesting draft. Last pick for them, for Carbon. They need a carry, Shane. They need a carry here. I'm expecting to see a Twin Blast pickup, but I'm not sure. Guys, chat. There it is. There's the Twin Blast pickup. I mean, Twin Blast, we look at Twin Blast, we look at Undead Pilot, we look at this micro nuke build. He does 4 micro nukes early, gives him that 32 crit, 32 crit right off the bat. It's actually kind of this great power curve that he has. Deals tons of damage and works out really well for Undead Pilot. But chat, we are seeing Muriel or Kalari here. What do you guys think? Do you guys think she's going to be played in the off lane? Do you think she's going to be played in the jungle? We're going to find out in just a few minutes here. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. We're going to find out in just a minute here as we get ready to jump into this game. But I am excited. taking a look at these drafts. Taking a look at these drafts.
So good.
They're so good, but when I look at these drafts, Shane,
you just talked for so long.
Blood Mortius. I just don't shut up. Blood Mortius on Sereth in the jungle. He's got a great Reddit post. Absolutely insane.
Which are far and few between, so yes, upvote that, please.
A lot of people are saying Kalari in the jungle. I asked them, where do you want to see her? Jungle, Kalari, or off lane? I'm getting a mix of both.
I want to see safe lane.
I'm expecting her to safe lane and Nebos to jungle, if Nebos is playing steel, to jungle steel.
We're going to have to see, man. There's definitely many different ways that they can lane this, man. I'm just excited to see a Kalari, to be perfectly honest. I'm excited to see a Kalari. We saw it yesterday. It was with a much different composition than this. It was when we saw that Countess Kalari Murdoch come out to play, which they almost won a game with. I wish they did, just so we could say that Countess and Kalari won a game. Carbon and A were like, nope, you can't. No. But yeah, it's gonna be proficiency on the Kalari. Just loading the replay. Let me just get these all this production stuff done, guys, and we'll get to this game in just a moment. As Notch, are you all right, man? Do you need an adult?
I think I'm good.
What was that noise?
It was a lip pucker smacky thing. I think I'm good. I think I'll survive.
All right, man. So what? Touch on the Kalari build a little bit. What do we see out of her? Is she a Thunder Cleaver? Does she pick up lifesteal? What do you expect to see? It's hard to say, but what do you expect to see as far as the build goes here, man?
We're going to see Thunder Cleaver, possibly. Either Thunder Cleaver or Wind Carver. Surprised if we don't see Thunder Cleaver. I believe Proficiency actually ran Wind Carver Blade on her. But we'll see Thirst Fangs. We'll see a little bit of lifesteal. We will see... why can I not remember the name? The Void Steel Dagger, I believe, is the one. The Void Steel Daggers. Void Steel Dagger with some penetration. Attack speed is going to come from Wind Carver Blade, and then Thirst Fang with the lifesteal. Awesome, a lot of damage coming out of this hero. Of course, if anybody is curious, how do you shut down a Kalari? Everybody on the side of Carbon EU.
Words. Man, let's get this game underway. Are you prepared?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, buenos dias. Mi nombre es Shane, and let's get this game underway. In blue is going to be Organized Confusion. Achido on Decker. Proficiency on
Bless you.
Kalari. Hurricane. Thank you. Hurricane on Gadget. Survivor on Murdoch. And Nebos on Steel.
We've got Shadon on Rampage, Undead Pilot on Twitch. Rusterus playing Muriel. Yo, I'm Mikey, back on Howitzer, and Blood Mortius in the jungle.
Oh!
Sereth. Oh my.
Shananana knees is what is going through the mind of Blood Mortius right now. If Axl Rose played Paragon, that would be his favorite role. Would be
a jungler.
Oh yeah, he'd absolutely be in the jungle, and
100%.
that would be great to see if that ever happened. So
Shane, look at these guys. They're standing over here. Oh, they're backing now. I thought they were gonna go
were they
aggressive.
trying to bait someone out?
I don't know. Nebos
Yo,
just decided
Mikey's
screw this.
Mikey's just auto-attacking, so everyone in the whole map knows that he's there. The only thing louder than Raptors is Howitzer.
Howitzer?
Is auto.
Hey, I'm mid lane. Pacow, pacow.
I mean, it is an explosion, so I expect it to reverberate quite a bit. So the audio engineers got that on point, man. You know what's one thing? We're going to digress for a moment, but there's one thing I want really badly in the game is in-game music while you're in a match.
Did you leave the YouTube on?
So no, I'm not doing it. No, we're not doing it right now. No. I'm saying I want like a series of music to be playing in the background, because sometimes it's just like, man, I can only listen to so much Beebler before I start to get worn out on. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to make that point. I'm sure it'll come eventually, though. It's again, the game's in early development, man. Taking a look at the early game builds, Notch. What were we seeing here?
We're seeing proficiency in the off lane. We're seeing Shadon just drop the boulder. We're seeing proficiency in the off lane, which means we're going to see a Steel as the jungler, which is such a good jungler.
Jay Leo does this, yeah.
Yes, I mean, level 5, all of a sudden, you think you're safe, and from a fog wall comes a shield slam, and then you're dead. A little bit of pee comes out. You don't know what's happened. End of discussion. End of story here. But the other lane, Shane, Hurricane versus Rusters.
Yep.
Gadget versus Muriel. I mean, we have to give this lane to Gadget, right?
I'm so unfamiliar with this matchup, I couldn't even tell you. Ruster's actually doing a good job of trying to body block and deny creeps of Hurricane so that they can't get that last hit. As far as sustain goes, I mean, you have the healer token and the health potion. Hurricane running the exact same thing. I don't think there's really any kill potential here. I'd imagine if Hurricane is to use any sticky bombs, Ruster simply is just going to drop a shield and completely negate the damage of it.
Yeah. We're also seeing on Blood Mortius, Shane, Vampiric Elixir,
yep,
which gives him lifesteal and the health regen, and then picking up 2 strike tokens. So instead of going with your traditional Siphon or Scythe, he's picking up the lifesteal and then the damage from the strike token, which he actually gets more damage going this particular route.
Yes.
With the double strike token, and can benefit from the Vampiric Elixir. One of his, right off the bat, he picked up the green buff. He then rotated, he picked up the 3 inside camps, and is rotated off to the off lane here. I expect him to actually put a lot of pressure against Gadget in this lane.
Yeah.
For him to be hyper aggressive in this lane and put a lot of pressure on Hurricane, because there's not much escape. And I think with that slow and the amount of damage Blood Mortius can provide, plus the speed boost and bubbles coming out of Muriel, they could really bully Hurricane if they decided to.
When we don't see Kalari very often, but we've always postulated that when we did see a Kalari, that she was going to be a nuisance in the opponent's jungle, and already that's the case. Right after getting the Amber Lake, completely siphoning it, trying to get a gank into the mid lane. 4 people rotate to the mid lane, but Yoy Mikey, his spidey sense was able to go off right there and keep him alive. A 4-man rotation 4 minutes into the game. You got to be careful about those sort of commitments on those kills. If you do that too frequently and come up short, you're just going to be at a disadvantage because I mean, it's just not very efficient at all. Yoy Mikey, just showing them, hey man, you guys can't catch me.
We're also seeing Shane. We're seeing the mid lane setup of Survivor and Cheeto with the support and Marauder setup in the mid lane here, which provides them for great rotation potential. But the big one, of course, is it keeps Yoa Mikey from rotating to the off lane and allowing him to become a presence in these fights early on. These guys have to be careful. Both Sereth and Blood Mortius are right. Both Sereth and Blood Mortius. That's the same person. Shadon and Blood Mortius We're waiting for that river buff to spawn. There is a purple on this side. They're going to give it to Nebos, their jungler. I want to see a big gank come out here. Use that purple buff. Nebos needs to really get the value out of that. He doesn't have level 5 yet, but he's invisible. Nobody can see him. Does he take advantage of this and look for a kill? And that's what it looks like he's doing. They're going after Muriel right now.
Not sure if Restless is aware of it. There's the punch. Is there a bull rush? Oh, bull rush didn't land. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Seek and destroy with the snare. Dive in the tower. One more punch. Can he get the range? Rustress gets the speed boost. They're going to come up short now. Here comes Blood Mortius to punish the overextension. He has the... actually, no, they do get the kill. Hurricane was able to pick up the kill. And imagine he threw out that sticky bomb and picked up the kill, but Blood Mortius was a 1-for-1 exchange right there. They continue to chase. There is the Chastise, the R2000 rocket. Seek and destroy is not going to be enough. Blood Mortius, the left-handed angel right there, swinging the big old mace. And double kill on to Seraph. Here's the thing about Seraph that she provides that no other jungler does. The way she scales as a carry. If you give her a really good early game, she can all of a sudden start flash farming your jungle, flash farming lanes, and she gets that crit item, if that is what she's going to go with. Seraph is a beast in the late game. Yoy Mikey's in some trouble. Forced to pop the Yoy Mikey. Reversal of Fortune has been used. Survivor is getting body blocked by some creep here. An R2000 rocket is not going to be on the field. Not enough mana there. So both teams almost had a kill potential. Not going to be the case. Going to come up short.
You... Pop to force the Yoy Mikey is what you said.
Oh, did I? Pop to force the Yoy Mikey? Hey, they popped him.
It.
They popped him.
I like it. Reversal of Fortune is going to keep Yoy Mikey safe. Both Survivor and Cheeto are able to walk out of the ult there. But Shane, Blood Mortius, oh, great boulder coming out of Shadon in the mid lane. And Cheeto's going to, Blood Mortius going to jump. A stun coming from Akito. Shane,
hat trick. That's a hat trick.
The kill. You're letting this guy get farmed. Don't do that. Please stop it. Why are you giving your life up to Blood Mortius?
And he's going to continue to go in. The move along is there. The ultimate has been popped. Chastise is going to hit. The boulder does, though. And the R2000 rocket. Blood Mortius gets him with the Heaven's Fury. 4-0-0, 30 CS, level 5 on Blood Mortius. This jungle of Seraph is really starting to just run out of control.
This is not the hero you want to let
Not at all, right man.
Now. Especially Blood Mortius, who is already a fantastic jungler. His rotations are on point. When he commits to a gank, they pick it up, as you just saw there. Great follow-up from Shadon and Yoy Mikey with the boulder and the R2000. But Blood Mortius is going to take this advantage. He's at 13 card power right now. Survivor's at 9. Cheeto, 8. Proficiency at 9. One of the best 1v1 in the game. Seraph right now. Letting him get this lead is going to be a
We see Kalari did go ahead and use that death sentence. That's exactly what's going to happen. Tesla Dome committed as well. Pick up a kill onto Undead Pilot. So there's a little bit of a momentum boost for Organized Chaos. But it's at this point, Undead Pilot could have a bad game if Blood Mortius continues to get these kills and get this farm. Seraph is just going to be able to go into these team fights and basically achieve raid boss status. Seraph turns into a raid boss at a certain point. And
it really does.
It's going to be devastating if they aren't able to cut off Blood Mortius's momentum right now.
So, proficiency, Shane, the Kalari player that we don't see a lot of, instantly first purchase, Void Steel Dagger, picking up that basic penetration and those minor strikes. I believe we'll see a Windcarver Blade next, possibly another Void Steel. But going for that attack speed is really important on this particular hero. Great split push. And one of the strengths of... It's not Legacy Kalari Ultimate. He's not going to hit 5 people with it and kill them.
I miss that ultimate so much. I think that would be such a good ultimate on this. And can you think the game's bursting now? Can you imagine that? That would be so sick, so nasty, so dope.
But one of the great things about Yoy Mikey decides to pick up a kill on Hurricane just casually.
He made the decision to do it, and it was and he made it so.
But one of the great things about the ult coming out of Proficiency is, one, the global presence. But it's a map-wide...
Slam onto Rustress. Blood Mortius is there in that ultimate form. Continues the charge forward onto Survivor. Is there a move along? Is he going to be able to dodge it with the Heaven's Fury? The speed boost is there. Yoy Mikey with the R2000 rocket is going to disintegrate Survival. The knockup mine onto a Cheeto. Going to continue to move forward. Yoy Mikey doesn't have enough mana for a rocket. Blood Mortius as well. Shadon is actually going to be the one that picks up the kill right there from half court. And he gets nothing but net. Proficiency is able to get a reprisal using that dagger to pick up a Muriel, but even still, you lost your carry and your support, and they continue to chase more. They're looking for... Wow! Proficiency actually used the double jump right there, the jump over the jump pads, and that was well played. Kalari's just a little cool thing you can do with Kalari right there is use that double jump to fake out the jump pad, fall down to your tier 2 tower, and get away safely.
Tricked him. Well done, Proficiency, picking up the kill onto Rustress. But in that exchange, they got 1 kill, while 2 were gained from, I believe Sereth got 2 more kills. He got the 2. He picked up 1.
2 assists.
Mikey got
2 assists. He got 2 assists.
Yeah, he got the 2 assists there. So you're seeing the strength of Sereth not being able to latch onto that target. The stun came a little bit late from Achido to help Survivor actually survive there. But Shane,
how
as
unfortunate.
we rotate, it's very unfortunate. His name is not true at all. As we rotate into the mid game here, about the 15 to 18 minute mark, we're going to see Raptors come into play.
Yep, very much so.
Do you give it to Undead Pilot or do you give it to Blood Mortius? Blood Mortius has the lead, so I'm assuming you give this to Undead Pilot to keep him farmed, but you've got 2 really strong targets.
Yeah,
to pick up.
I think it just depends on what exactly are they looking to achieve. I think if they want to continue Blood Mortius to snowball and get him closer to that raid boss status, you give that to him. I mean, the man's 4-0-2. Not to take anything away from Undead Pilot, but Sereth, without a doubt, has much more presence in the early stages of the game than your typical range carries, which is why she's picked up here and how Blood Mortius has had such a successful game. Honestly, if I'm Carbon EU here, I'm saying let's give that farm to Blood Mortius. He has been securing us so many kills. Let's continue to build on what's working and infuse that farm. Undead Pilot's so good, he's going to get that farm. He's going to get that farm. Nebos has been caught out by that boulder. Shield Slam on to 2, almost clipped Undead Pilot, but it's not going to be the case. It's just Proficiency in Nebos here, so there is no follow-up. It's defensive Shield Slam with no opportunity for kill potential unless Proficiency has anything to say about it. Survivor comes in. He is able to get a snipe of the auto attack on to the Muriel prior to going down. Undead Pilot. Okay, there we go. Wasn't expecting that. The rotation from Survivor was enough for them to pick up a 2-for-2 exchange. Both carries get taken out. I thought for sure that was going to be a disastrous occasion for Organized Confusion, but they were able to get themselves up. Beautiful knock-up onto Achido. The R2000 rocket is there. The power of Howitzer on full display right there. No one else is really able to do that. Knock someone out of the safety of their tower and hit him with that big burst damage. And beautifully done. Yoi Mikey continuing to just have a runaway performance on Howitzer in both of the games that we've seen him today.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Shadon there with that boulder. That 2-second stun allowed Yoi Mikey to walk up to the tower, place that landmine, knock Achido out into range, and help secure that kill. Of course, damage coming from Blood Mortius there, but Yoi Mikey's gameplay on Howitzer is always impressive. We've seen it in the past where people just ban Howitzer, so Yoi Mikey can't play that particular hero because he's just so...
Oh, Kalari ultimate on. They're engaging. The Raptors have been taken. Blood Mortius used the Heaven's Fury Proficiency already. Down to about 1/3 HP. The Gadget Mine is going to knock him down. Survivor gets the kill on the Yoi Mikey. Proficiency gets taken out as well, but right now it's all about Survivor getting those kills. Rustress, the alacrity used to give him a speed boost, and he's going to get out of there. So it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Taking out Yoi Mikey, I think, is more... There's the implications of taking out Yoi Mikey is more than just, hey, we got a kill, and we got the card experience. Just stop that man's snowball and try to take the wind out of his sails, and that's what's going to happen right there. Shield Slam is going to land on a Rustress. A long arm of the law. Achido gets taken out. I'm sorry, Rustress gets taken out, rather. By the time he can do much of anything... That was by Achido, rather, and a tier 2 tower to fall. The last couple of engagements have been going Organized Confusion's way, and they have something to say about that. They have just got pick-off after pick-off. They denied the Raptors, and maybe not denied the Raptors, but at least were able to push them away. And just like that, Organized Chaos, they strike back, and they strike back decisively.
It's an early tier 2 tower, 14 minutes
Very
into the
early, yeah.
We haven't seen them fall. I mean, yesterday we saw one at about 14 minutes into the game, but this is Organized Confusion playing really well, answering back. That's the big thing. When we see teams get behind or we see teams get discouraged because they've lost a couple engagements, how do you bounce back from that? And we're seeing Organized Confusion do a really good job. They're picking up the kills, picked up a tier 2 tower. They're picking up the Raptors now. 3 Raptors are spawned, and they're going to give those... Oh, that's actually Carbon EU picking these.
Yep.
And who are they going to give these to?
Right now, 2 of them have gone. They haven't gone to Undead Pilot. They're going to give them over to Blood Mortius. I really like this.
It's a good decision.
I'm 100% on board with this. Undead Pilot He's 1, 2, and 2, but he's been farming so well that both him and Seraph now, we're at the double deuces. Blood Mortius now at 23 due to those Raptors. So, and I believe that's what is this item being picked up? A Thunder Cleaver now being picked up by Blood Mortius. So, Blood Mortius displaying not only his ability to play this hero in a great variety, but more importantly, the deck he's bringing to the table. This is not the deck that we saw him on when we casted him on Seraph yesterday. This is much significantly different. He's going with crit, he's going with Thunder Cleaver. It's sort of all over the place, but imagine at a certain point it's a cohesive build that comes together. I'm excited to see this as what Blood Mortius can do with a significant lead. Speaking of which, let's talk about the economics here, Notch. Give us a breakdown of the numbers here. We're 16 minutes into the game.
24 card power for Blood Mortius, like you said. Thunder, the word Whirling Wand, going with an attack swing, a little bit of crit. Undead Pilot at 23 card power. Survivor currently sitting at 19 card power. He's going the standard Madstone Gem build. Undead Pilot with this Micro Nuke build into a fourth Micro Nuke here in just a second. Proficiency, he did pick up a second Void Steel Dagger, and he's now building a Windcarver Blade for that attack speed, sitting at 19 card power as well. When we take a look at the other heroes, Shane, we're seeing pretty standard builds. Yoi Mikey with Meltdowns, giving him that ability penetration.
The good old Suki build.
Damage. The good old Suki build. And the damage from that as well. And then Shadon building a little bit more tanky. He's picked up an early game Tempered Plate. He's got a Bump Juice, which, what? Hello?
Oh, hello?
I thought that card was useless, team.
What is this, 2016?
Guardian's Ward with health and some cast. Elder Mage, he'll probably as well. But for the most part, Hurricane, we've seen this build on him all day. Minor Strikes on his Adamant Edges. He picks up about 4 or 5 Minor Strikes and then starts rotating off into different things in that build, whether it's a Barrier of Will or whatever it may be.
Stasis Gem is what we saw last time.
Stasis Gem is one we've seen. Yeah. He's also pulled out the Barrier of Will. So I'm expecting a Stasis Gem with the damage coming out of this team and the stuns. I'm expecting a Stasis Gem.
Containment Fence goes down on the Blood Mortius, but Blood Mortius has the Ascend. That is not the target you're looking for right there. You're looking for someone else, but Nebos, look at the damage. Oh, not quite. The Reversal of Fortune was lined up on a Shadon, but he wasn't able to jump in there in time to knock him up. So 3 very important ultimates on cooldown. 2 there for the Containment Fence for a Cheeto, and then Yo and Mikey using the Make It Rain to try to zone around it there. But yeah, a Containment Fence onto a Seraph is going to be able to get out of that every single time with her mobility.
Proficiency has to be careful here. He was split pushing all the way up to the tier 2 tower, taking a ton of damage from Rusterish.
Rusterish might go for a blinder. He might go for a blinder. Nah, dang. I was hoping he was going to go for a blinder damage bomb there. Not going to be the case. Darn. Over here, though, Blood Mortius is just casually 1v3ing. Don't worry about it. Or casually 1v2ing. Undead Pilot's in trouble. Survivor is able to pick up the kill, but Blood Mortius is going to try to get a reprisal. Not going to happen, though. A 2v3 situation. Both the carries. Look at Blood Mortius goes in there. Is the burn going to be enough to take out a Cheeto? I don't think it's going to be the case. He is going to narrowly be able to live right there. Both the carries, I mean, it's only 18 minutes into the game. They haven't reached their power spikes yet. If that was a 35-minute fight, Blood Mortius and Undead Pilot could have just wiped the floor, but simply not the case, and they give up a foolhardy kill. Undead Pilot off the field for 20 seconds.
Yeah, Undead off for 20 seconds. I mean, Blood Mortius almost 1v3'd there.
Oh, wow.
Weird. Was that a tier 2 tower?
That was, yeah, that's a tier 2 tower. The lane, the minion management continues to come back to haunt Organized Confusion once again.
They've got Proficiency, who I wanted to doing. He's split pushing. He stayed in this lane. He's continuing to push this tower up. But one of the benefits of having a hero with a global presence like Kalari is the ability to set both of these lanes and enter a team fight when you're needed. He's focused purely on this one lane, and we're seeing that just bit them in the behind because they lost.
Too bad Rat Pack's not here, else we could say bum, but alas.
We cannot. So they've lost the tier 2 tower.
Avoided.
Their jump pads are offline as well. Minion management has hurt them in the 3 games we've casted.
Yeah.
This is game number 3. Minion management has been this team's weakness, and it's continuing to be this team's weakness. They really need to set these lanes before they go to take an engagement.
Nebel's
that's one of the things.
Leading the charge into the green buff. Was able to pick it up. Blood Mortius, no Ascend. He does have Heaven's Fury, and Blood Mortius has the reaction time necessary to dodge and immune a shield charge from Nebel's. He's going to go in there. He's going to hit Undead Pilot. He actually blinked out of it. Reversal Fortune onto Undead Pilot. He needs the shield. He needs the bubble. He needs something that's not going to be on time. And Rustress is now in a lot of duress. The Tesla Dome getting a huge amount of value here. Blood Mortius is in trouble. The shield is there as well. Can they take him down? Another shield. Ascend. Can he get himself away? He's trying to get. I think he is going to be able to get away. The containment fence is keeping him restricted right now, right? This is 2 for 2. Here we go into the fight. Nebos gets hit by a boulder. Shadon had something to say about that. Blood Mortius did go down in the long run. I'm not sure what ended up killing him there.
Proficiency did.
Proficiency used the death sentence to get the kill right there. A little bit late to the party, to be honest, was Proficiency. And another tower gets taken out in the right lane, being pushed out for Organized Confusion. Very, very close team fight right there. Blood Mortius living that long, I was surprised by that. I thought for sure he was dead, man.
Yeah, he lived for, I mean, he took about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds of that Tesla Dome. Which was surprising. If it wasn't for the death sentence, he would have survived. He did escape, but death sentence does pick him off. They do lose a tier 2 tower, though, is going to fall on the side of Carbon EU, their second tier 2 tower. So, Shane.
Hello.
When I'm watching Proficiency, or I'm sorry, when I'm watching Organized Confusion, we keep talking about minion management, and those are that are new to Paragon.
Welcome.
They're new to the competitive scene.
Welcome.
One term we're using is setting lanes. What is setting a lane? How do you set a lane? And why is setting lanes so important?
It's one of the most simple things you can do in the game, but it's so very effective. It's literally as simple as when a full wave meets another full wave. The only minions that you kill are the ranged minions, whether it's just a single ranged minion or a siege minion and the ranged minions. And what that does is, when you normally just clear a wave, all it does is pushes your wave up a little bit, and then it sort of stagnates right there. The wave really doesn't build up to push down a structure. Setting the waves, that creates a momentum. It's a little bit slower than pushing the wave out and completely clearing it, but what it does is the siege minions start to build up, the wave starts to build up. It takes a little bit of time, but all of a sudden, maybe not all of a sudden, but after a minute or two, you see your wave pushing down a tier 2 tower. And that forces the hand of your opponent, creates map control, a great deal of map control. It only, with heroes with really good wave clear, it literally can take a second, kill the range minions, show up to a team fight, you set that left wave, you just want a team fight, now you can push. Conversely, if you set a wave and you lose a team fight, setting that wave can salvage the situation, because after you just got wiped in a team fight, instead of them pushing down your inhibitor, they have to fall back to that wave that is now pushing against them, creating the space and the time for you to get back on the field. So it's very important for creating opportunities and also salvaging opportunities. Set your waves.
What Shane said, set your waves. It's so important. So they have a Kalari on the team. We were excited about seeing
Yo,
Kalari.
and Mikey laughing, saying, stasis bomb.
They have a Kalari on the team. I am excited. We were excited to see Kalari. I don't think they're getting much benefit out of particular class. We're not seeing lanes being set. He's joining the team fights a little bit late, and I just don't think we're seeing the benefit that they were hoping for when they picked Kalari. That being said, Carbon EU has been playing very, very well. They've been managing the lanes very well. They're taking really good engagements, and they're also collapsing really well when they're being engaged on. The rotation coming from Shadon and Yuan Mikey has been on point. That last engagement there.
Buddy, Shadon's in a lot of trouble. He's in the in-range form. He's got the region. He's going to be able to jump out at the last minute. He's still alive. Akito just sort of forced the issue. Here's that death sense. He is going to come into the fight. Proficient. Who's he going to be going on here? It looks like he's trying to chase down Rampage. All the meanwhile, though, Undead Pilot shows over, picks off Survivor. Blood Mortius putting the nail in the coffin right there. And now Nebos is in a great deal of trouble. A very disorganized, chaotic team fight. Organized on the side of Carbon EU, but confused on the side of Organized Confusion. That's 2-0 going down, and this is a great moment for them. Let's take a look at the minimap. The waves are about equal along that line of scrimmage, but they're going to go after the big purple monkey and activate their prime cards here, Notch.
Which is the best orb primes we're working with right now. Shadon, Centurion, which gives you the health, and also gives additional health to the minions. Undead Pilot, Yoan Mikey, and Blood Mortius, rocking the Archmages.
Proficiency's in there. He's going to look for steal. Can he able to get it? Blood Mortius is able to pick it up. That would have been a big steal right there from Proficiency, but instead I think he's just going to give his life up, to be honest. And that was a very, very high-risk, high-reward play. Unfortunately, the risk outweighing the reward right there. Or Prime activated for all 5 team members. As you just analyze the Prime cards that are now online. Big power boost, and no Kalari to split push the waves as this impending push comes down potentially the mid lane. That's where Shadon is hanging out. But I'd imagine they're going to put some priority into those side lanes. The Orb Prime lasts for 2 minutes. That's a long time in Monolith terms.
2 minutes is a very long time in Monolith. Proficiency tried to go in with that steal, ends up giving his life. Not only are they at a disadvantage because he's dead, but Orb Prime is activated. Lanes are set in their favor. And like you said, they're going to probably push one of these off lane towers, open up this map in their favor. They do have an inhibitor open up over here in the off lane for them. And Undead Pilot is already making his way down this lane with Yo and Mikey here as well.
While we have a moment, Notch, let's take a look at the numbers before this fight goes down, because this could be the end of the game right here. Let's take a look at this.
So we've got 40 card power on Blood Mortius, 36 card power on Undead Pilot, 32 for Survivor. The lead is massive when it comes to card power. Almost a 10 card power advantage for Blood Mortius over Survivor. Proficiency is only sitting at 30. Yo and Mikey at 39. They have the card power advantage.
Oh, Hurricane just got knocked out. Yo and Mikey just blew up the gadget right there. Rustress almost got taken out as well. And Undead Pilots takes out Proficiency. Blood Mortius is saying, "Blood, give me my blood!" And pushing down mid lane over in the left lane, the inhibitors to fall. If the core doesn't go down, which it more than likely will, it's going to be a difficult situation. Shadon popping the Enrage for him. Blood Mortius ascending into the core, down to 25%. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. Game number 1 was back and forth, with Carbon EU closing out the end. Game number 2, someone call a doctor, because that was a clinic right there from Carbon EU. They were in full control of that match. Blood Mortius showing Sereth is a just dominating hero, great in the jungle. I want to see Sereth as we go into the finals. I want to see Blood Mortius on that hero, and I want to see Yo and Mikey on Howitzer.
5-1-9 for Sereth, 5-1-11 for Yo and Mikey. They were at the majority of these team fights. They were picking up major kills. Blood Mortius got farmed really early on and just continued to snowball his character out of control, while Survivor and Proficiency really didn't come online as the match progressed. Proficiency wasn't really setting the lanes. He was focusing on the lane, but while his team was being picked off, showing up to some of these engagements late. You got to give it up to Carbon EU. They are an impressive team to watch. They are play so well together, and that's why they're moving on to the finals, Shane. This finals, though, Oxygen NA, formerly known as Clint Eastwood, versus Carbon EU, who is the PCS champion.
Yep.
I believe they were second place last week.
I wasn't able to catch it. Those EU times are brutal for me, man.
But we're seeing really, really good gameplay to Carbon EU, one of the best teams in the competitive play, playing against a newer team, which with some returning faces of Oxygen NA. Shane, going into the finals, after watching both of these teams play, Oxygen NA or Carbon EU, who do you think takes it?
It's just they're so evenly matched, man. It's 50-50 at this point, to be perfectly honest, man. If I was forced to make a decision, my brain is telling me Oxygen NA 2-1. My heart is telling me Carbon EU 2-1. That being said, I don't think this is something. This is not a predictable matchup. These two teams are so evenly matched. I think we're up for some of the best competitive Paragon that we've ever seen, and I'm really beyond words excited about it. Before we transition to the finals, guys, one more time, the Matcherino is what these guys are going to be fighting for. They're fighting for pride, they're fighting for bragging rights, but more importantly, let's put a little cash in their pockets for all of these great games that these guys have put up until now. There's great backer awards you can use, and of course, knowing that you are helping supporting the growing Paragon scene. More teams are signing up each week. The viewership continues to go up, and up. It's incredible. I have been involved in other games at this stage in development, and Paragon right now, as far as metric goes, are far exceeding those. So the future is bright, and being involved in this community, it's a great time to be doing that. So head over to that Matcherino and do what you can. I'm twitch.tv/ITG Shane Lynch. You know who that is. That's twitch.tv/Another Notch. We're going to cut to a very short break, but when we come back, the finals of Paragon Competitive League number 3. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a barn burner, a slobber knocker, one hell of a match.